Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Broyans Farm. So right now we're trying to get everything off our truck, which is our greenhouse supplies for the upcoming season. We just got picked up, I think yesterday or 2 days ago. We just don't want to leave all this weight. We have a lot of soil on here, which obviously accumulates to be a couple tons. And then we have a lot of our plastic trays and pots, all that kind of stuff. So right now Dad's working on getting some of that off. We're gonna leave some on, but we just don't want to leave everything on because we're not really quite sure if it's good to leave all that weight on for the next couple months until we're ready to use it. This skid right here, we have another skid back there. I'm not exactly sure how many bags are on each one, but each bag weighs, I think, 25 pounds. I can't really find it on here. Yeah, right there. So each bag weighs 25 pounds, and there is 3 bags on each layer. And we had 3 skids of it, so just good to get some of this weight off. I think we're gonna leave that last pallet on. Earlier on in the season, we put this plastic down, made it 10 times easier for not only our bins of cantaloupe, watermelon, corn, all that kind of stuff, but also for our carts. But these pallets of soil are quite a bit heavier, and you can see we busted our plastic up pretty good because it's so cold out and because they're just so much heavier. We're not even quite sure if our skid loader is going to be able to lift it, but we're going to find out right now. Oh, it's got it. Perfect. There was 3 more layers on. We took it off just to fit it inside of the truck, and because we weren't sure if the skid loader could lift it, but it's not seeming to have too much of a problem. It'll actually tip the whole skid loader forward, but I don't even see it teetering much, so I think we can handle it pretty well. Beautiful out right now. What do you think, Dace? Watch out. Forward with it a little bit. You get momentum to get up over that lip. Are you ready? Yep. So here we have our germination mix. We have our regular potting soil underneath that. And then over here we have 2 skids of plastics, pots, all that kind of stuff. We still have more soil coming, but this is all we could fit on one load. You hungry? Okay, so the weather's starting to kind of take a turn for the worse. The snow stopped. It's actually getting warmer, but the wind is starting to get really crazy bad, and the rain is starting to pick up here a little bit. So it's kind of getting better and worse, I guess I should say, at the same time. But right now I'm in the barn, and it is feeding time, so I'm over here at the chop bin. I have to go up in the hay mow to get some hay down. We have a set of steps that go up through our barn into the hay mow, but we actually have it blocked off right now because, wow, look at the water. All the ice and snow is melting, coming down. This whole roadway here is ice. Well, it's slushy now. But anyway, as it gets colder out, we block off the steps going up to the hay mow because a lot of cold air comes in to the top of the barn. And we try and keep as much heat down here as possible. The cows actually produce a lot of heat, and as we can keep it kind of insulated in there, it holds a lot of that heat and it keeps the water bowls in the lines from freezing up. So we also have a lot of windows, as you can see, along this side and the other side. And what we do is we put plastic on them, and that way no air can come in or out. But the plastic only lasts for about 2 years, maybe 3 max. Sometimes it only lasts a year. And then it starts to get holes in it. So now the next nice day we get, me and Dad are gonna go through and put some new plastic on. There's actually 3 big windows that go across here. You can see the one is good, but we actually, just for temporary reasons, we put up some, or actually I didn't, but Dad did, put up some cardboard and leaned up some blocks and pallets just to keep that air from coming in. But you can only do so much. It's just an old barn, and we do what we can so that way we don't have any more frozen pipes than possible.
I think that's oak. Good.
So now today, as you just seen, Dad and I are working on replacing some barn windows with this greenhouse plastic, which I have laid out right here right now. You can see how there was a bunch of holes in it, which I was explaining earlier. And so we don't really want to change it right now. It's definitely not the ideal weather, but we have, I think, 5 to 0 degree temperatures coming tonight. And we got to get this done because there's gonna be a lot of cold air coming in the barn if we don't. So rain or shine, we're getting it done. I don't know if we'll get it all done today, but you can see those windows were pretty bad, and we want to get the worst ones done first. When we replace the plastic on the greenhouses, like those ones up there, we save a lot of the extra pieces after we get done and get it put on. So this was just a piece we had left. Now we're gonna get to use it for the barn windows, and it's nice because this is a lot more of a heavy grade than you'll get at like your typical hardware store. All this whole wall is concrete and rock, so they had to put a wooden frame around the window, and now we can fasten this plastic with staples and then these little tiny lath boards. Right down here is what they look like before we take them off, with the boards framing it out, you can see. And then that's with it off. These 2 right here are the worst. Those ones down there have a little baby hole in them. Not quite sure if we're gonna do that today. but we do have some on the other side of the barn that could also use some plastic as well.
How far over are you?
I got an extra 5 inches. How far above?
I'd like to tuck it up in a little bit like I did here. Like that. How much you got down here, Brian? Yeah. I don't like it. Good. All right. Just like that.
So everything's basically turning to ice now. It's getting really windy, which it already was windy. And the rain, as you've seen, turned from rain to like a sleetish. Now it's kind of, and then it was a hard snow. Now it's flurrying. We got, I don't know, a coating of snow and everything is like hard and crusty. So we got that window on, those 2 windows on, and then one more window down here on, which was the worst of it, and our hands are really numb. It's kind of just dangerous being outside right now with skin exposed, but we got to get this done.